you could never really go back and do another sitcom. The fear would be, how could I ever top Seinfeld?
It's guaranteed. You can't top it.
You
couldn't even
can't.
get close to it.
It's iconic. Like all this.
Thank you.
Everything was lined up. Everything was perfect.
Yes.
The casting was right.
I'm not arrogant and stupid enough to think I did that.
So do you?
I know that I got caught in what we call the perfect storm, a good one.
Right.
Me and Larry fit together perfect.
How did you know to team up with him?
In comedy, certain guys, it's funny right away. You're talking, all of a sudden, in 2 minutes, you've hit into something hilarious.
You guys start to talk and you say, hey, we've got to write a sitcom together.
No, I had this meeting at NBC where they said, George Shapiro sent a note to Brandon Tartikoff, one sentence. Call me a crazy guy. I have a feeling someday Jerry Seinfeld is going to be doing a TV series on NBC. I had been on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson for 9 years. Nobody at NBC, nobody, not one person, after 9 years of going on Carson 3 and 4 times a year and killing, nobody said, why don't we talk to this kid?
9 years of killing on the Carson show should have triggered something in them.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So he sends this letter. I come in for the meeting. They go, do you have anything you would like to do if you ever did a show for us? I said, not really.
Great meeting.
Yeah. I said, I just always wanted to have a meeting like this. This is what was
the meeting
my
was
goal.
the goal.
The goal. So a week later, this is all true. I'm talking with Larry David at the Improv. I tell him the story. We start talking, and then we go across the street to a Korean deli. We're making fun of everything in the deli. He goes, this is what the show should be. 2 comedians just making fun of stuff as they walk around during the day.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Do you dislike when people come up to you and start reciting what their favorite Seinfeld episode is?
No.
Does it get fatiguing after a while?
No.
I love the episode where Kramer gets the Merv Griffin set in his apartment.
Thank you. I love that one, too.
Was that your concept?
No, it wasn't. It was Bruce Eric Kaplan, who was a cartoonist for The New Yorker,
right,
who was on our staff for a couple of years.
What about the masturbation episode, where you all decide that you're going to see who can go the longest without masturbating?
That was Larry David's idea.
NBC didn't say, hey, you're mentioning masturbation.
Never said the word.
Never. Oh, wow, and I had the impression you did, so it worked.
It worked, and there was one sponsor pulled out. One sponsor pulled out of the show. That was all I remembered in terms of any sort of blowback on that.
Warren Littlefield wrote that if you would have given him another season of Seinfeld, he would have paid you $110 million for the year. $110 million.
I could have got more than that.
Okay, you could have gotten more than that.
Yeah.
And you said no.
Right.
Is that the ultimate in integrity? You were done.
You know, it wasn't... Integrity's a nice word and a flattering word. I appreciate that.
Right.
But... to be honest, you know, which is what's fun about coming on your show, is that you just really want to be honest.
Right.
Because that's what you bring to the show.
Okay.
The love affair between the people that were making the show and the audience was so intense. It was so white hot. I had to respect that. And I could not go to that point where it starts to... age and wither, and it can only be, and it doesn't take long. For example, you go see a comedian at an hour and 10 minutes, you love the guy. At an hour and 30, it's like,
right.
I thought he was never going to finish. And all of it, you walk out with a whole different feeling. It's a small amount of too much cake, too much anything,
but do you think
and changes the whole feeling about. So we had this wonderful, intense love affair.
Right.
The people that are making the show and the audience. And I wanted it to end with a fireworks burst of, it never was bad.
And also that last season you lost Larry David. So that
2 seasons.
Right, 2 seasons. That made it even harder as a job, right? You lost your sort of...
It wasn't really possible for a person to be the head writer, executive producer, and star. That's 24 episodes.
If he had
it's
stayed,
not really humanly possible.
If he had stayed, do you think you might have done another season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Why did he have to leave? What was his problem?
It was hard, Howard. It's hard work. It's frustrating. And it wasn't his show. It was my show.
That's true. And I think at that point he got the bug to go do his own show.
Perhaps. And I think it worked out great for both of us.
Do you like his show?
I love his show.
Right.
I loved running the show on my own. That turned me into someone I never thought I could be. I never thought I could run the show on my own.
And so
when I
proved something
did,
to you.
that was great. So I'm grateful to him for that.
If I had said to young Jerry, who was laboring away, doing material, there's going to be a $110 million payday the final season.
Pretty crazy.
You would think you were
You're
nuts.
definitely not saying no.
Yeah,
right.
but guess
And-
what? If you're about the money, you're going to go just so far.
That's true. But don't you think the other cast members were upset with you?
No, we sat and talked it over.
You did. You went to each of the
We
main
said, how do we
players.
all feel? But I have to say, I have a sense of timing.
Right.
I have it in jokes. I have it in my sets. I have it in my career. I knew when to move to L.A. I knew when I was ready for The Tonight Show. I knew when I was ready for us to do something bigger like the sitcom. I just knew. And I knew that was our moment.